annual board meeting with Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency back to order. This time, privilege of the floor. Minutes from our last meeting. We all received minutes. Is there any additions and or corrections?
No. Accept as presented.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Treasury report.
It's the annual, it's the final report. So from prior month, we reduced 3,000 in our total assets, Our total current liabilities improved or went up by 57,000. This is page 7 of your packet. And page 8 of your packet, it'll show you we're kind of within the guidance we thought over the last couple months. Income over expenditures was negative 165. So hopefully we have some projects that we've been talking about help on the revenue side. The expenses seem to be pretty good. On our balance sheet, on page 10, our quick assets and receivables virtually didn't even change. Total assets changed by $2,000 upwards. Liability increased by about 57,000. On page 11 of your packet, total capital decreased by about 55,000. Page 12, we'll skip that. Page 20.
Page 12, Rob, let me interrupt you, please.
Go ahead.
That's a new report. This is on the 146 Arsenal Street property. You haven't had this before. These numbers have been on the income statement. However, I'm breaking this out as a separate department going forward. The numbers you see on this report are largely reimbursed by Convergys, Stream, whoever they are these days. But from this point on, they won't be reimbursed by anybody. It comes out of our pocket.
And so it comes
So
out
you'll
of
get
that
this every month.
other part. Thank you. Page 20, very few past due accounts. The usual suspects and all within less than 1% of total receivables.
Actually, I believe Wright Brothers might be caught up. Kim has indicated they paid
Good.
through September,
Very good.
but we haven't received it yet.
Page 21, 2, and 3, I think are just snapshots of the different loans that we've made commitments to, and there will be a notation that allows put in whether they're delinquent or current, or we've got a couple on interest only. So it's all very self-explanatory. And that would be the treasurer's report. I move to accept as presented.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Governance committee.
Here again, we met September 12th, reviewed all 3 agencies' policies. So the committee found no additions or corrections that needed to be made to our policies, procedures, and bylaws. We did have some discussion, but nothing that needed to be changed. So I move that we accept resolution
Number 1003, 2019-01.
I'll second it.
Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you. Nominating committee.
Yes, we met on September 12th and produced a slate that you have in your packet. And I'll mention it on here too, that Rob has indicated serving another term, and that the county needs to be notified of reappointing Rob to the board. So the slate that you have before you, these people are already in these positions, and they indicated the willingness to serve another term. So we have for chairman, David Converse, vice chair, John Jennings, treasurer, Rob Aliasso, and secretary, Ed Waldruff. And I would like to introduce this as a motion to accept.
Resolution 1003, 2019-02 for election of officers. The motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
on the 24th of September, we met, Loan Review Committee. We had one hearing, only one order of business, highlight airfield services, submitted a very thorough packet. It was reviewed, discussed, essentially renovations and expansion of their existing facility on Coffeen Street location. They would be planning to hire an additional new 40 employees. The cost of benefit is 7-to-1 as put forth in the analysis that Lyle presented and discussed during our meeting. The total public monies are less than $100,000, and it would only be tax abatement and mortgage recording fees. There's no pilot.
Sales tax abatement.
Sales tax abatement, thank you. And we moved at our loan review committee to have it put forward in the full board, and you'll see that later on in this agenda to discuss further. So that's the report of the loan review.
Okay, and we will have resolutions coming forward.
Yes.
New business. We have resolution number 1003, 2019-03, to charge off administrative billing services. Administrative services billing to in-kind services.
I move the resolution as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
I would move the next resolution to be suspended, what's the word?
Tabled.
Tabled, yeah. Until the building and grounds can actually talk about potential buyers and lessees and whatever.
Second.
Environmental resolution. Resolution number 1003, 2019-04. It's a resolution determining that the action toward the acquisition, renovation, installation, and leasing of a certain commercial project for Highlight Properties LLC, Highlight, will not have a significant effect on the environment. I entertain a motion and a second in this resolution.
I'll move the resolution, the motion.
I'll second, and I have a question after we,
Sure.
okay. And maybe more for Joe, on the bolded part in the front, do we need to make the name of the organization match our, what the application is, and it's and Coffeen Street Properties LLC? I know there's a whole reason why it's transferring.
For the environmental, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I wasn't sure how consistent that had to be, and then also, so that would have been.
As long as the property is identified, it
Yep.
doesn't matter who the owner is.
Perfect. Seemed like I wrote some other note here. No, or you already answered the question. I was gonna ask the same question on part one. It missed the Coffeen Street, but if it's not required, never mind, that's it.
Roll call vote.
Dave,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Bill is absent, Lisa.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We have a resolution of the Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency taking official action towards the leaseback transaction with Highlight Properties LLC and Coffeen Street Properties LLC, the owners, for the purpose of renovating, expanding, and equipping an existing maintenance facility located at 20128 New York 12F in the town of Watertown, Jefferson County, New York, to consolidate maintenance and administrative function in a single facility. And that is resolution 1003, 2019-05. Can I have a motion and a second on this resolution?
I'm moving again. I have a question which may have already been answered, but I'll ask it again after this.
Second.
Second.
Go ahead, Rob.
So on page 41, it's kind of the same question. Does this matter that it says Highlight Properties and not Coffeen Street LLC? Because that is in the bolded this time. On page 41, third paragraph down. Says application
Well,
submitted
the
to Highlight.
application, but that's identifying how the application
Okay.
is submitted.
All right,
Okay?
on A2, and I speak under correction here, but I believe they are adding a 1,200 square foot building, not a 6,000 square foot.
6400.
It's currently
actually.
6,000, they're adding another 6,400.
Yeah, but it
I'll
says,
clarify, I can clarify
it's,
that.
I just,
Rob, I can
it
clarify.
says
So
increase the existing 6,000 square
6,400,
foot.
6,400 is a new separate
new.
storage building.
Right.
Although they're only adding 1,600 square feet to the existing building,
Mhm.
it's a 6,000 foot project because they're
Okay.
renovating, the balance of that is being renovated.
I was
internally.
confused with that during our loan
Yeah,
review
so-
too, so, okay.
Yeah.
That's,
That's how the application read. so.
yeah, it was, it just, I got confused about
But
it.
it is 6,000 feet total. they're renovating.
Yeah, those are my only two questions. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Any other questions? On the resolution, roll call vote, please.
Dave,
Yes.
John, Rob,
Yes,
Ed,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Bill is absent, Lisa.
Yes.
Resolution carries, thank you. Resolution number 1003, 2019, that's 06, a resolution determining the action towards acquisition, construction, installation, and leasing of a certain commercial project for Oya, New York State Route 12 LLC, Oya Blanchard Road LLC, Oya Blanchard Road 2 LLC, and Oya Great Lakes Seaway LLC, collectively Oya, OYA, will not have a significant effect on the environment. I entertain a motion and a second on this resolution.
So moved.
Yes. Second.
Discussion,
Question.
question?
So when OYA went through the process at the town level, they did not include this agency
That is correct, as
as an involved
Correct.
agency. Does this satisfy the fact that they have left us out and that we're okay with seeker?
It does, because we're adopting the results of the coordinated review that was done. So I'm satisfied that it does.
on page 47, and this actually occurs in the next three resolutions, and I'm not sure how important this is, when we describe the construction on the land of 4 separate 5 megawatt, solar needs an L, should we specify AC? Because I think solar can be AC or DC, and that gives a better description of the project. And this was 5 megawatt AC. Again, I have no idea how important it is, just asking the question. We've been,
I mean, that's,
I don't think it has any.
I don't
Okay.
think it has any bearing
if
on
it has no bearing, I just, that was really my only question.
Well, the only thing is though, I mean, battery storage, wherever there's battery storage, it's gonna be DC.
There's no battery
There's no
storage
battery.
on this project.
Well, but will there be? Could there be?
See, the New York State's program limits them by AC. But, yeah, these projects can't be over 5 megawatts. That's why one company has 3 or 4 or 5 of these, and they're all 5 megawatt AC, because that's a maximum for the community solar. But there's a drop off, so these are all probably 7 megawatts DC, and when it goes to the inverters, it drops off. So we traditionally, our pilot's written around AC generation, not DC. Whether or not that makes a difference to Rob's comments, Joe, I'll leave that up to you.
It's probably inconsequential.
I don't think it makes, certainly doesn't make any difference on the environmental resolution, and I don't think it makes any difference on the inducement resolution either. Maybe when we get to the approving resolution,
Yeah.
we want to be more specific, but.
On the other question, and I did say I only had one, but I did find a second one here. All the information compiled and already given a neg deck by Town of Orleans is the application is Oya Jefferson Utility, which doesn't really match anything else we have.
Again, it's when you're doing the environmental review, it's the property
Okay.
that you're looking at.
All right.
Doesn't matter what.
I just want to make sure
And
that they're,
that's how they applied it, but.
again, I said before, I'm gun shy on this whole seeker stuff for,
I have a comment.
Resolution.
I have a
Oh, oh,
comment.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm on the county planning board, and their projects have already come before us for site plan review, so I believe that I need to recuse myself from these votes. I don't know, I think that might be a conflict of interest.
Well, it's already been completed. I mean, their site plan review and approvals at the county and town level have been done for months now, so I don't know that, there's no action you can take here or there that impacts the other, so I don't think it's a conflict.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Dave,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Rob,
yes,
Ed,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Bill is absent, Lisa.
Yes.
Resolution carries. Thank you. We have resolution number 1003-2019-07, resolution taking preliminary official action toward the acquisition, construction, installation, and leasing of certain commercial project, for Oya, New York State Route 12, LLC, Oya Blanchard Road, LLC, Oya Blanchard Road 2, LLC, and Oya Great Lakes Seaway, LLC, collectively the company, and authorizing the execution and delivery of a preliminary agreement with the company with respect to such a transaction. I entertain a motion in a second.
Motion to accept as presented.
Second.
Question,
Yes.
we have to establish a public hearing now, correct?
Once we adopt the inducement resolution, we do, yes.
Okay, so that's not,
And
okay.
that, this authorizes Don to set the public hearing.
And my question is, should we go to the region that this project is in?
We're required to hold the public hearing at the town where the project's located. So it'll be held, I assume, at the town of Orleans.
Okay,
That would be the plan.
very good.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Dave,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Bill is absent, Lisa?
Yes.
Resolution carries. Thank you. And we have a preliminary agreement. The preliminary agreement made as of October 3rd, 2019 between Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency, the Agency of Public Benefit Corporation, organized and existing under the laws of the state of New York, and Oya, New York State Route 12 LLC, Oya Blanchard Road LLC, Oya Blanchard Road 2 LLC, and Oya Seaway Great Lakes LLC, collectively the company, a limited liabilities company organized and existing under the laws of the state of New York. Can I have a motion and a second on this preliminary agreement?
Motion to accept it.
Second.
Questions?
Just, is this the one you said with specificity may or may not matter, or is it the one that was?
No, this is all part of the preliminary
Okay,
steps.
so just my only comment was that
Basically,
AC thing.
This just says that they're gonna move forward, we're gonna move forward.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. Anything else for the IDA, Dan?
I just wanted to advise the board that we have successfully completed the transition from Concentrix to the IDA. Believe it or not, of all of the issues that we faced during the transition, the only one that I let slip through my fingers was the fact that the dumpster contract would expire, and so that had to be caught up on. But I want you to know that the building, thanks to Lyle, has been fully insured. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 million, I guess now, Lyle, with all of the.
Well, with the insurance company's valuation, yes. So that $500,000 doesn't
$9
look too
million,
bad.
so if you sell it for $500,000, there may be some issue there. Secondly, the building is now secure 24 hours a day. We have a part-time employee now who works at my behest during the course of the week, and times he is not there, we are covered by a certified security firm. All our concerns with respect to fire alarms, natural gas alarms, any other thing is under contract now. National Grid has converted all of the accounts over to the IDA from Concentrix. We have worked very carefully with Washington Street Properties, so the transition was fully experienced by them as well, because we share common areas there. Contracts for city plowing, we just sent some money over to them for their activities. At the end of the day, I think the building is successfully being managed now. I don't know of any issues, although something certainly might surface. If you need to get, or want to get to the building, you can work with Jerry Countryman, who is our employee there, and he is available by a new email system which we're setting up. There will be a new internet connections there so that we can manage that facility more effectively. Anyway, it's just a report. I think the transition is satisfactorily done.
What do you think the costs are gonna be to maintain that building that way for 6 months and,
For 6 months, I don't know, it'd be a wild guess. If you put the city parking number out of there, it's probably $10,000 maybe. I don't know, I'd have to, we haven't gotten, well, over the next 6 months. Yeah, but, it could be more or less, we still haven't gotten all of the final numbers from the contracts yet. I expect those today. Dumpster people will be in this morning, and we were still pulling all this information together, but it's coming together, and Lyle will be doing, as you know, a monthly report now to you guys. And I'll try to give you something of a summary as soon as I put all the numbers
heating the
together.
building is also gonna be expensive, isn't it?
Heating the building, yes, yeah. Mhm.
Is there a requirement of a certain level of heat, seeing as that we share common areas that we're gonna have to maintain in the upstairs?
Yeah, because we have a significant amount of plumbing throughout the building, that kind of stuff, so, yeah, all of this will be managed and then, committed to and then monitored throughout the day, so that if something happens during some period in the day when our employee is not around, that alarms, and we have an emergency list of people, staff are on those emergency lists, so, yeah, there's a mechanism, hopefully, to make sure that we don't stumble and fall anywhere along the process.
Usually 50 degrees is kind of
Yeah,
acceptable.
it'll be, we've reduced wherever we can. For example, the dumpster will now be a very small dumpster. It will be dumped once a month rather than once a week. We'll run the temperature of the building down, although we still have people there, so it can't be too cold, but it doesn't have to be at the levels that we have been operating under. There are common areas which, again, I think we've got that under control. Billy and his group still maintain the common areas. We've continued that contract so that we're covered there. There may be something that crops up, I don't know. I have a long list of those things, and I think we're covered, but I'll keep you posted.
I kind of assume that we're probably closer to about 100,000 for 6 months. By the time you include the heat and all the contracts and our insurances.
Maybe for the next meeting, we could get an idea of what our annual carrying costs would be for the building if we end up owning it. And for the next meeting, do you have a meeting scheduled with the county to try to nail down? I would think if we assume they're going in that back corner, is that deck alteration necessary for what they're going to do? We need to, because we may not have to renovate all of it.
Correct.
Good points, Paul, and certainly Building and Grounds will take a look at that. It's on their agenda. I know the only thing we've been waiting on with respect to the Workforce Development Board is reactions to the clients this morning. Like I say, we've had several tours with them, including state officials, and I think
Chances are that project, if we wait a month, that project's a spring project with concrete work, I would guess, anyhow.
I think you're right.
And there's opportunity by codes, you can do a temporary access into that isn't gonna might cost you 20,000, it wouldn't cost you 200,000. Should they wanna get in there.
Yeah.
It's not worth tail wagging the dog with this, but the Concentrics, we had an arrangement with them that some of the monies that would typically under the lease go back to them would stay with us because of this need to replace a building, part of which was their responsibility. But if we allow this to go on, and it's not, we shouldn't concern ourselves with it, but that money will be, end up back in Concentrics. There's no way I can hold that, so. And it's not a lot of money, it's just a factor that we, and construction points, as Paul says, we were trying to get this on the table today because of the pending winter. I mean, it's just, by the time these guys mobilize and so on, it would have been worthwhile. But obviously, the decision is right. We don't know what the exterior of the building's gonna look like shortly, so.
What was that negotiated pool, what was that negotiated pool for that back Concentrics? That they, we specifically hit them up for and agreed to?
Yeah, there was common area maintenance money sitting out there.
So it
Yeah.
wasn't specifically for that stairwell way rebuild? As far as-
That's what they agreed to leave it here to take care of.
To help offset.
To help offset that,
Yeah.
because it was partially their contract to the.
But I also thought that the cost to replace that would be less. I underestimated that. And so I was prepared, if we moved forward, I was prepared to go back and say, look, you gotta give us more money to help offset that. But I'm gonna try that anyway, but.
I was shocked with the
I'd say
deviations between the high and the low.
Yeah,
I mean, there was $150,000 difference in $180,000 project, which was worrisome to begin with.
Well,
Why the deep, that's huge in a 300,000.
I'm with you, Paul, and that's why this morning, I've been pushing Albertine to give me some backup material to be absolutely sure that the bid from the one bidder was accurate. And that was what the letter was handed to me this morning, was confirming that the lower number was indeed responding correctly to the bid, so I agree with it.
How many bids did you get? How many bids did they go?
3.
We have another meeting to get through here, so
I'm sorry.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.